All right, what's going on, y'all? So I felt like I wanted to share this dream with y'all. I said I was going to do some dream stories in a minute anyway. So here goes one I thought was pretty peculiar because of the phenomena. So last night I did a live, right, at the Starcast plug. Shout out to everyone who's been at the Starcast. If you haven't stopped by, check it out. You might be interested. So boom, I'm in the dream and I'm walking with this dude that I grew up with. And he just got out of prison not too long ago. So we departed though, and his name, like he has a nickname that kind of like suggests being mentally unstable or whatever the case may be. Let's just say that because I don't even want to put their name out there. I didn't speak with this person before I recorded this video. So, but that's what their nickname kind of represents, right? So we had separated like right in the beginning of the dream, and it had dawned on me that he had just got out of prison. This is something that I know in 3D, right? But when the dream had just began, so that didn't enter my mind just as of yet. It didn't until after we separated, and I was like, damn, I could have gave him some money, you know what I'm saying? So I told myself, I was making a mental note, like, yeah, I'm gonna call him when I get back because I was on my way somewhere, and I'm gonna, give him like $100 or something to put in his pocket, whatever the case may be. So I continue walking. Now, mind you, I'm going to the ferry boat. I don't know if y'all familiar with the Staten Island ferry. I'm going to the Staten Island ferry, but I'm on the Manhattan side going to the ferry boat. So I'm right at the entrance. This is where me and homeboy separated at. So as the gates open, now first, hold on, I gotta stop. I gotta bring it back a little bit because last night I did a reading, an oracle reading at the end of my live, right? So when I'm drawing the cards, the first card that I drew was about worry, anxiety, and emotions. And as soon as I saw the card, like I was in a fantastic mood last night. For the past week, I could say. So I was just like, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for me. And I was like, I don't know if I'm reading this for any of y'all, but if this is not resonating with you, be mindful that this may occur in the near future. My exact words, right? Come to find out, it entered into my dream, and this is why I'm bringing the dream to the forefront. So the first card was about worry, emotions, and anxiety. The next card was about exes, ex-lovers, and stuff like that in your life. And the next card was about fear of fear of losing someone, like a lover, or come to find out it's about friends. So it could be friends or anyone else that reading resonated for. There was somebody in there that resonated for their actual ex-lover, but for me it ended up being friends. So and the card that was after that was success, opportunity, business opportunity, successful endeavor, right? So I told my peoples, I told Nana, matter of fact, I said, yo, I'm going to end the reading right here because I'm going to end it on a positive note. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to draw any more cards. Whatever that you went through with that person or those people, that's the past. You went through it. And what you're stepping into right now is going to be successful. It's a yes if you questioned it, and, it got something to do with business. Bonk. Leave the reading right there. Shut it off. Everybody, good night, everybody, right? So, boom. Now let's get back to this dream. So, I farewelled my homeboy. The gates for the ferry opened up, right? So, I'm walking through it. Now, I see two dudes that I used to deal with back in the days, and a woman that is also in the dynamic, in the friend dynamic, we'll say, so to speak, right? So as soon as I see their faces, they see mine. We lock eyes instantly. So it's too late to try to be like, dipping because there's a crowd of people at the boat. It's too late to try to like merge into the crowd and disappear. They seen me, I seen them, and they was trying to reach out to me, called me and everything, was like, yo. And I did one of these. I was like, nope. I said just like this. I said, nope. And I dipped off to my right. Now, mind you, one of them tried reaching out to me not too long ago, and I just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? Let the shit go to voice machine. They did what they did, and I was just like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Same thing applies. I'm not trying to reconcile. They was trying to reconcile with me in that very moment, and I'm like, nope. Merged right. Went through all of the people. They was trying to like come after me too, but eventually they gave up. Like halfway through to where the boat dock is, they just gave up. They was like, fuck it, he too fast or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I didn't get to hear what they said. So I get on this boat, right? Now, when I get on the boat, I realize that I get lost on the boat, which is like damn near impossible because I know the Staten Island Ferry like the back of my hand. You know what I mean? I grew up taking that boat back and forth numerous times. Like, how the fuck do I get lost on a ferry? But I'm going around in a circle, and I'm like, yo, where the fuck? And it's more crammed in. Like, this, you know, the ceilings is tall in a boat. But I'm in the part of the boat. Come to find out, I'm at the very bottom of the boat. And so the ceiling is just like this much above me and shit. So I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? So I'm realizing this as I'm walking through. I'm like, oh shit, I am lost, but I'm at the very bottom of the boat, because I look out of the window, and you got these, like, there's a window on the side of it. Like, there's like the circle windows, like on the old school boats, I guess. I don't think they're really on the ferry, but I can see the salt water of the ocean waves crashing against this boat. And I'm like, oh shit. Because the ferry boat always rocks. So we used to like keeping our balance as we walking on a boat. But when you at the very bottom of that bitch, like, it was different. Like, that shit was rocking for real. You understand what I'm saying? I'm feeling all of this like it was a fucking Inception. Like, the dream, it was wild, right? So I'm doing my best to keep my balance as I'm walking through there, trying to find my way back to the top. But all I could think about is those waves crashing against the window. So I'm kind of like low key, like, oh shit, anxious and worried. Like the first card said, emotions deal with waves. So now I'm dealing with something that is emotionally maybe disturbing or troubling, and I feel like it has something to do with those past people. So those exes, the card that was drawn for the exes were actually my ex-friends, right, so to speak. So now I see the worry outside of the window. I see the anxiety, because now I'm anxious to get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't belong on the bottom of some fucking boat. You understand what I'm saying? So I crawl around the corridor. It's like a corridor, a left side to a right side. I go to this side of the corridor, and I hear a woman's voice. She a black woman, so I just know from the tone of the voice. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell. So she was like, right there, stop right there. So I'm listening to the voice. I'm like, so I'm under the impression that she's a worker on the boat, right? And she's like, you made it this far, but that's as far as you're going to go. I'm not exactly sure how you got on here or why you're on here, but I'm just warning you now. You know what I'm saying? Just sit over there, wait this out. Don't come another inch over this way, though. And she was like, you know, good luck to you, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But she basically was warning me. Her thing was to warn me. She didn't want me to see her, and she didn't know exactly how I got there, but finish out the ride and go on my merry way. So I'm like, all right. And I could tell she was in there with someone. I don't know if it was a woman or another man, or, you know what I mean, another woman or a man, but I could just hear like rustling. I could just tell it was two people back there. The other person was pretty much silent though. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to listen to her. So I spin around. I go back this way around the corridor. I come to the other side, and there's this bed. It's a full-size bed. It got no box spring on the other side. It got a cover over it, and it's like a coat laying on top of the bed as well, a pillow. You know, so now mind you, there's like pipes running through the wall and shit like that. This shit is pretty shabby. It's like shabby looking. It look like delicate. Like if I touch a pipe the wrong way, that bitch might bust and just spray all over the place type shit, right? But nonetheless, I'm walking through the corridor. I'm just want to get through the boat ride and wait for that bitch to dock so I can get off and go where I need to go. Which wasn't even totally sure anymore, because I started questioning myself like, yo, why are you even going to Staten Island? Like, the fuck you got going on over there? Like, you don't got nothing going on over there, really. Like, why are you even going there? So now in my mind, I'm thinking like, I really want to go back to the Manhattan side so I can go to Brooklyn type shit. But anyway, I'm walking through the corridor, and the boat, like I'm telling you, rocking like crazy back and forth. So eventually I fell. When I fell on top of the bed. But part of me didn't, you know, I didn't want to be intrusive. I could tell like someone was actually staying in this bit. So I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. But I stood up, I got right back up, and I looked down. I was like, I ain't going to be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Because I could tell that I adjusted the cover on the bed. So I start moving the cover, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Now, I fixed the cover, whatever the case may be. So I turn around because I hear something now. Boom, there's this dude come behind me. Skinny dude, brown skin dude. Got the wick locks like the Florida niggas be having and shit. Boom. He got his sweats on, no shirt on. He looked like he low-key skits. Like he skits, or he borderline something's off about him, right? So he's staring at me, and he like scary looking, like he's nervous. I don't know if he's nervous about me. I don't know if he's just nervous in general. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out even what he's even doing there type shit, right? But anyway, so we get to he pull out a gun. He got a shotgun in this hand, boom. And I'm like, oh shit. So he shoots the shotgun at the floor. Pow! I'm like, yo, what the fuck is he on? I'm thinking like there's gonna be water shooting, spraying up in this bitch or whatever. We going down. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't one of those. But I couldn't tell, like, because I was off like through the peripheral. I couldn't see completely around the corner, so I don't know if he shot somebody. I'm listening to hear a body drop or something, a thud, so I could be like, oh, okay, he killed somebody. None of that, right? So I'm just like, is this motherfucker just shooting to be shooting? So boom, I'm like, all right. Then he turns around towards me. And I was like, yo, my man, that's my bad. I ain't mean to fuck up your bed, as you seen. You know what I'm saying? I'm copping a plea already. I'm like, yo, as you seen, I adjusted your cover back. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure everything is everything. You know what I mean? You good. Your bed is good. Don't shoot me, B. Don't shoot me. Boy, he couldn't. It's like he wasn't talking. He was just like, like he was going in a fit of rage or some shit. You know what I mean? So he had the shotgun in his hand, but he's coming towards me. He got it pointing towards me too. Then he pulls out another gun. It's a Chrome 2.5. I know the gun. I had it before, a long time ago. I don't have it. So he pulls that out, and now he's pointing both of them at me. And the one with the 2.5 is shaking and shit. But I'm just like, yo, any second he gonna hit me with this shit. You know what I'm saying? He gonna shoot me. But he just kept like he was having this rageful fit, right? And I was just like, damn, man, homie going through it. Whatever it is, like, the shit fucked him up. So now I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, shit, he probably like one of the nephews or the ferry worker that's around the corner, you know what I'm saying? And she harboring him because he on the run for some shit that he did. You know what I mean? It's all the shit that's going on through my mind. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's staying here. He's sleeping in that bed because he came through like some little doorway that looked like it might have led up to the upper deck of the ferry. I'm not sure. But I'm trying to think that way, so I'm just like, damn, if I could just get past him, I could go up there and I'll be back on the ferry boat. I get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So then suddenly he just turns around again and he shoots the shotgun again. Pow! So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is up with boy? Like, I know he's off though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to like calculate shit. So this time, mind you, the boat is still waving, rocking back and forth like crazy. I fall on my ass this time. I fall on my ass to the point where I look down and I notice I got a revolver in my hand, a Chrome 32. I know this gun before because I had this gun before as well. I don't have it now. I just got to confirm that after I say shit like that. But I'm looking at it and it was bugged out because now he spins back around. He's looking at me. I'm like, damn, if he see this gun, he going to shoot his and I might shoot mine, but I might miss because this boat is rocking like crazy back and forth. Or I might hit him. But he might survive this shit because it's a 32 and he might let that shotgun blow. If he let that shotgun shoot in my direction, it's a wrap for me because that's how closed in of a space this was. The buckshot's going to hit me regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like trying to think my way through that shit. And at the last second, I just balled up the gun like a piece of paper and put it in my pocket. I don't, dreams, they're strange like that sometimes, right? So boom, that happens. So he's looking at me. He still doesn't shoot. So now I hear some footsteps beyond us and he hears them too. He grabs the guns, well, he already had them, and he just takes off back inside of the doorway and goes back up those steps. So I'm like, what the fuck? Now this dude comes in, it's a mailman. This dude got the whole United States Postal Service uniform on. He's got his shirt out, though, like maybe he just came from a shift. He got the bag on his shoulder. He sits the bag down on the bed, and he's got like a stack of manila envelopes, maybe about 5 or 6 of them. Majority of them are open at the top. He sits the bag down. He sits the envelopes down. He sits down. Brown skin dude, looked like a little bit like Music Soul Child. And he like notions to me to like, come have a seat or whatever the case may be. It's like, I felt like he knew me or he knew I was going to be there. So now this turns into like some like espionage shit going on. You understand what I'm talking about? But this is part of the tarot reading where I said there's going to be successful business and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the dude with the locks and who was kind of off with the guns and shit like that, me having a gun, I felt like all of that was just like my past life and shit that I used to be into or whatever the case may be, trying to like I think that's the fear of the card that I drawn, like the fear of losing that element of life, or the fear of what people may think about me not doing that anymore, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Separating myself from ties that are associated with that type of thing is why he was there. And now comes in this mailman, which in a dream represents sending messages. Like, you either are supposed to send messages to people in the waking state, or you're offering information that you're doing too much that wasn't asked for. And I'm a firm, you might have heard me say this before, like I'm a firm believer of don't offer information, wait until you ask. You know what I mean? Speak when you're spoken to. So in this dream, that's what that reflected. And I tell you why. During my live last night, Happy Sky, I believe it was, she was like, this is boring. Like mid Starcast, she was like, this is boring. And I couldn't look, right? I couldn't disagree with her. Like, this area of the podcast, like, it felt boring. And I was just telling her, like, yo, sometimes we got to do the boring stuff. It's like that in life, too. Sometimes you got to do the boring stuff. You got to get through the boring stuff, because too much fun, too much happy, joy. And, you know, we drop the ball on something, or we get too indulgent. You know what I mean? But that was just me being me, turning up my Virgo and trying to be defensive about what was really said. Although I admitted to it. I admitted, like, that part, you could feel it, like, through the chat, you could feel like that part was fucking boring. But I was like, yo, if you got any recommendations or whatever the case may be, please feel free to offer it. So, you know, maybe it is something that I can change about it. I did remain open-minded, although I still was halfway critical, right? So I'm sitting down with this mailman, and this is how I know how to decipher that. I'm sitting down with this mailman. First, he had like licked the top. The first envelope he was sending to his son. He made that clear. I'm sending this to my son. He was speaking to me like we knew each other. I can't recall where this dude is from a day in my life. But he licked the top of the envelope. He sat it down. And this is when he called me over. He was like, come, sit down, have a seat. So I get up off the floor, and now sit down on the bed. He on the other side of the bed. And he like handed me the envelope to like help him seal it or whatever the case may be, while he addresses the other envelope. So I sealed the top of it for him. And then he was like, matter of fact, give it to me. So I think he was like kind of nervous to like having me handle federal stuff, because mail is like, you know, that could be a federal offense or whatever the case may be. He didn't say that, but that's what I thought. So I handed the envelope back to him, and then he just continued doing the envelopes. So now he's like peeling stamps off and putting it on the manila envelopes, and he's explaining something to me. He was like, yo, you know what? I'm blessed because I just got a call from a client that wants me to take them to New Jersey. And it was a town in New Jersey. He said it very clear too. I was REM sleeping this. Like I was in, what do you call it? You know, in the theta stage. You know what the lucid dreaming. Because I was halfway up, halfway asleep. So I'm just chilling. Like I know I'm dreaming. You know what I mean? So he was like, yeah, I got to take them to something, Greenport, New Jersey. I've been through Jersey a lot, but there's a lot of towns in Jersey. It started with a G. That's all I really remember. It started with a G. And in the dream, I was familiar with it. I was like, oh, yeah, word. So now I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, we going dock in Staten Island. I'm like tallying up the money he going to make. I'm like, yeah, he is going to make a good amount of money. So I'm thinking he does Uber on the side or whatever the case may be. So he's happy. I could tell he's excited about the extra money because he's already a postman, right? So I'm putting two and two together. I'm like, okay, so this is his bed. This is where he stays when he gets on the boat. I guess he travels back and forth to like send mail. You know how they put mail on a plane and shit like that? I guess he's the boat postal worker that does this. Even though it doesn't make total sense, it kind of made sense in the dream. So I'm like, all right. But then the conversation goes different. He's like, yeah, so if you're going to do what you're going to do at the extent that you're going to do it, I think this is going to work wonderful for you. He was like, I'm talking with the Russians now. Like, we're working with the Russians and everything seems great. You know, they even are aware of the concentration level of artists, entertainers, musicians, etc. that are in the North American region. Now, as he's saying this to me, maps pop up. I don't know if it's just in my eyeballs or if they pop up on the screen, but I see the maps vividly, and it's these color-coded maps that has all of the concentration levels and points of entertainers on each continent. I'm talking about all of the continents. It's a map of all of the continents, a flat map of all of the continents. not no circular sphere shit. And I see all of these color-coded things, and it's basically depicting everything that he's saying that him and the Russians have become aware of. So he's telling me, if you maintain the professionalism that you have acquired in this craft, you're going to be astronomical, is what he's telling me. So now I'm realizing that he's talking about the entertainment industry for me. So this let me know this is the new job opportunity from the card that I pulled in the tarot reading that I ended the reading with. Successful business endeavor. And the card has like a ring light on it. So I was like, yo, this probably has something to do with entertainment or relaying information or whatever the case may be. So he also said, I work at Capitol. Now, I don't know if Capitol Records is still open or if they went out of business or whatever the case may be. Let me see if I can look that up. But he said that he works with Capitol Records. And I was like, okay. I didn't say nothing, but in my mind, I'm like, so in my mind, real quick, I had a flash like, yo, all right, I'm going to sign the deal. And then I talked to myself again while still in the dream. I'm like, nigga, you ain't signing no deal. Why are you even thinking like that? Like, the last thing you want to do is sign a deal. You could be your own distributor now. You know how to get your own distribution. Like, nobody's signing deals anymore. The fucking music industry is over. You know what I'm saying? So I came to my senses and I was like, held my tongue back. I was like, yeah, I'm not saying it. Yeah, Capitol Records still is in business. Okay. So, he was telling me how he's with Capitol Records and this, that, and the third. And I was just like, I'm not signing with this nigga. I don't give a fuck. And I'm thinking like, is this some espionage shit? Because he's talking about the Russians, this, that, and the third. But mind you, I'm learning the Russian language right now anyway. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a fucking sexy ass language. So I'm learning Russian. So I think maybe that got something to do with it. Or maybe he is in bed with the Russians. You know what I'm saying? But I also knew that him being the mailman represented me not being so hell-bent on offering information at the level that I do. I think part of it is a fear. Remember the first card drawn? Fear, anxiety, emotions, that of if I squander my education. Because for those of you who don't know, you know, I do have an education, and it's like I come to the conclusion that I've addressed the podcast in a way that perhaps I'm forcing the educational part of myself on you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to feel like I fucked up that education. You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, I know business like the back of my hand. So I can go into any industry and do business. This I know from being hands-on and being an entrepreneur now for some time now. So I had to like release and let go of my own partial anxiety and fears of not looking educated or not sounding educated. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like when Sky said that, it made more sense as I'm waking up. I'm like, yeah, because a few of y'all gave me recommendations at the end of the podcast of what y'all would like to see. You know what I'm saying? As long as it pertains to the theme of where the sign that the sun is in at the moment, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to doing it. And I'm not saying I'm relinquishing the reins or the power to y'all, but I am sharing that power with y'all, because if we can make it more entertaining, then let's do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know that the parts that got boring is when I'm addressing business, because, you know, there's just this passionate part of me that wants people to halfway damn near rebel. I've said it before. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, y'all got to be educated in these areas in order to know how to rebel. You know what I'm saying? That's my mindset coming in, even though I'm not flat out saying that. That's how I am. And it's just like, nigga, maybe you can do all those parts on your own, which I can. Like, y'all didn't ask for that information. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are not asking to learn how to start a revolution or whatever the case may be. Maybe that's something that'll end up happening regardless of what I do or what you know what I'm saying? But for my opportunity, I've been in the entertainment industry for years, and I know what's happening. It's all shaking up right now. People are saying it's over. It's not fucking over. It's not what you do, it's how you do it type shit. You know, I'm fully confident in that as well. I got projects creatively in the process right now regarding entertainment. I've done a lot of things behind the scenes. I got a resume for years, a track record. So, you know, I'm not going to squander my opportunity or my potential for success, as the reading said, based upon some fear and anxiety that's attached to people that are my exes, like my ex friends and stuff like that, or my ex life. You understand what I'm saying? Or even, or should I say, furthermore, my higher education. Like, oh, I gotta sound like a professor and everything that I say. No, y'all know I like to have fun and shit anyway. So it's just like, all right, fuck it, let's rock out. You know, the Starcast is doing pretty well regardless. It's not like I'm just kicking all serious shit and being very serious, but some of it is. So it's just like this seesaw that goes from having fun to being real serious to having fun and being real serious. And maybe it still will carry that type of tone. But this dream was showing me to not let go of the entertainment side, because that's where my opportunity resides. Bars and fucking nights, and you already know that. Album coming whenever, but it definitely is coming now based upon this phenomena. So everyone that listened and you got to this point, I'm glad that you listened. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, obviously, if you got to this point, right? That's the climax. That's it. I actually pushed myself out of the dream because he started dragging it afterwards, and I'm just like, you just bored, huh? You want somebody to talk to. You lonely on the road, huh? Fuck this shit. The boat had docked too, and I'm like, yo, I'm just waking myself up because I'm fucking REM sleeping right now anyway. So all I gotta do is just push myself over the bed, which I did. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. If you got any questions, any insights, or something that you think I might have glossed over and missed, let me know. Until next time, I'm out of here. Oh yeah, I just remembered this. So boom, one of the tarot cards that was drawn, it came right after the ex being fearful of, you know, losing someone along those lines, something like that, right? The next card was an apology card, and the apology card stated that the apology would be insincere. That the apology would be insincere. Pardon me, I'm having sinus issues. It's very nice outside, and I just came back from outside. So the apology was insincere. So that made me reflect on when the ferry boat gates had opened, that the people, the ex-friends that were trying to reconcile with me, the apology was insincere. And I'm glad I picked up on it. I'm glad I intuitively knew that, and I moved the way that I did, because all that would have done was sucked me back into some social trap that I knew had played its course, that I knew wasn't genuine anyway. The same way I said that person tried reaching out to me, I let it go to machine. They don't ever fail to reveal themselves. Is pretty much what I'm saying. So I already knew the shit was insincere anyway. They tried it though in the dream. They tried it. So that's what that part of the dream was, which I left out. And also, I believe capital, when the mailman mentions Capitol Records, I think it has more to deal with obtaining capital. It's like code for, obtain your own capital, because you can be your own record label now, or you can be your own film company now. You don't need to tug on the tits of some fucking label or some, executive in order to get your ball rolling. Pause. But you don't. You know what I mean? And that's what the whole capital thing was. Because even though they kind of caught me unaware when mentioning Capitol Records, at first I was like, oh yeah, it's time to sign a deal. I quickly caught myself and was like, you're not signing no deal. What the fuck are you talking about? This whole thing you've been drumming up for this time now is wrapped around you not signing a deal anymore. So, I believe that's what capital meant in the dream. All right, now I'm finished.